Welcome everyone. I want to show kind of a really nice little, they call them tactical pens, but and they are good as a general tool. This is a great tool I think everybody should have. I've been carrying something similar to this for years. I just upgraded it because the one thing that these type of pens tend to lack is a light. Now, there's two things you generally always need, and that's a light and something to write with. So carrying something like this with you is always a help. And this gives you a varied amount of additional tools, and we'll go into all that. The first thing, of course, it's got this very nice little light on it. Well, it's a fairly good-sized pen here, and it's very sturdy and well built. It has that typical glass-breaking point on here, and you can see this is pretty pointy. And I'll give you a link to the manufacturer here through Amazon if you desire to get this exact one. And there's a lot of these out there, and they vary. There's very inexpensive ones, but they don't usually have lights in them. And I find that, you always need to use a light sometime. Remember, in the wintertime, it's dark for a long period of time. And you've got to see things, whether it's even in your own house. But it's so nice to have a little flashlight with you at all time that also doubles as a pen. And of course, you have this glass breaking point on here. And this is a good, strong one. And this is a very good, strong unit as well. But, a lot of people have been caught in cars and even in buildings and have drowned or burnt to death because they can't break the windows. Windows are not like in the movies where you throw a chair against it and they break out. Generally, windows are difficult to break, particularly car windows. You can pound on them all day. Good luck breaking them. You need some sort of a tool, and that's what this does. And of course, this serves as a particular self-defense device as well, and it's always nice to have something like that. This certainly is much stronger than your hand. So those people who think they're all Bruce Lee, the bottom line is Bruce Lee used lots of weapons. So if you're in a dangerous situation, this is certainly going to send a nice message to somebody if they're struck with this. But obviously, those are self-defense things. But the glass breaking option on this is very important. You could be, matter of fact, I knew some people who died, and I didn't know them, but I read a story. People died in a restaurant that caught on fire. Everybody ran for the exit, and people couldn't get out. Yet the restaurant was full of large windows, and nobody thought of breaking one. It's typical in society that you follow rules even when it kills you. But even if you tried to break one with a chair or something else, I'm assuming you could have with enough work and time. But here's something that if you can strike, it's going to do. And particularly car windows. A lot of people who live near rivers and other things, there's a surprising amount of people who, cars, fall into these rivers and ponds and they can't get out. And of course, you have to let the water generally get to a point where the pressure is equalized, which is sitting in a car while it's sinking is pretty frightening, but that's what you got to do. Now, if you use something like this, you can break it open without worrying about the pressure situation. So these are something that you can save some. What if you want to get into somebody? I went to a car accident once and couldn't get to the person. The door was jammed, and I couldn't break the window. Well, emergency people came, but if you had something like this, you could have broken the window and dragged the person out of it. So it's a nice thing to have. Now, let's show you the pen end. It has a very nice pen in it that works. It's a high-quality pen. Some of these cheaper ones don't have good pens. So here's the actual pen here, and you turn it around. You carry it with the glass breaker out, and then this. And see if we can get a little piece of paper here. This is a very nice pen. And it's a very nice kit in general, and this writes really well. Very easy, it's high quality, which is nice because a lot of these pens, as I said, tend to be junk. This is also a nice kit in general. So you have the pen, and of course, and let me show you the light here. The pen, of course, and they give you two, you can see here, They give you 2 pen refills, which is nice. They give you 2 battery refills. This is a whistle, this is a multi-tool, and this actually is for starting fires. So it's really a very cool little kit, and they even give you more. And we'll get into that as well. But, so you got a real nice pen, which goes back in here, and this is a nice color. I like this rose gold color. It's nice. I'm so sick of black and silver. This is kind of nice, and it's also easily identifiable. Sometimes it's hard to find silver and black items, as they tend to blend in with so many other things. But it has this and again, I'm always needing lights. I don't know about you, but I always need lights. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a show on here. So you've got this kind of a light here, which is a steady light. It's an LED light. It's very bright. If you shine this in your eyes, you're not going to be able to keep it there. It also has a nice little flashing feature. So this is good if you're helping somebody, you're on the road or someplace where you want to be noticed. There's nothing like a flashing light. Everybody notices that. Then you click it again and it goes off. So you click it once and, once and the regular beam comes on. If you're looking at something, let's say you have a car problem, you open your car engine to check it, you want to find something in your trunk, the back seat, well, you got this nice, powerful LED light. Then, let's say if you're moving around your car, maybe you're on the side of the road, well, you could stick this in your pocket and you're going to have that flashing image. So it's really nice to have a light with you all the time. And that's what most of these tactical pens lack. So it's very nice. This runs about $18. You really can't beat it for that. And as I said, this will last you a lifetime. It's solid, heavy steel, which will be... The only problem with this is that it has this clip to blend in, and it's a pretty good clip. The problem is it tends to pull off pretty easy. That's not the greatest thing. So that could be a problem. It's also plastic. So the problem with plastic is that it tends to break, unfortunately. So the clip could be a little bit of a problem in the future, but generally that's not overly stressed. Now let's show you the accessories that go with it. Now you get 2 extra batteries here, and they're kind of glued. Let's see, how does this look? They have the packages all ready to go. Use 3 like this. These are just has a little plastic on the outside. You can obviously buy your own. You don't have to buy them like this. There's nothing special. But this just shows the quality of this manufacturer, because what they did was put it together in a nice for you. Let's go back down to the case here. And as I said, you get 2 replacements, which is really nice. And those batteries, you know, as small as they are, you never seem to have extras of these, and they tend to get kicked around. You also have this here. I don't know, this is a new thing everybody's doing, but of course it's standard survival tactics, especially if you're with someone else. And I certainly would get a couple of these for my family members. I bought one for my wife as well. And this is a whistle. So, and if you want to, of course, this is where the attachments all attach to. You unscrew this here, which is where the actual, and underneath there's a nice little knife. And this is handy as well. You always need little knives. I'm opening up packages at the supermarket. I'm cutting little things. You always seem to need something to cut something, whether it's simple. A lot of times when I carry stuff home in my shopping trolley, you need to take them out of the containers and other things, and it's amazing how strong some of this is. So you got this nice little knife here, and it's strong and it's short, so this could be used as a defensive weapon as well. Now, this actually screws out. And this is pretty small. I'm assuming that's legal in most places, but this is where you would then screw in some of the attachments. Now, if you wanted to have a whistle on a handle, you don't really need it. You've got that. But sometimes this is a great way, they tell you, especially if you're in the wilderness or camping, this is a great way to locate somebody, and you can hear it well. So whistles do have their uses. It also could be used as an emergency. If someone needs help and they're in a parking lot or in a part of the store, they could use this. Now, one of the problems here is there's no place to put the accessories in the pen. So you got to carry these separately, and that's kind of a bummer. But I guess if you put that in the pen somewhere, you would have a giant pen. But it's one of the drawbacks. Somebody should figure out how to put that all together or how to attach those in a decent way. Now, this again screws into the same place, and this is a flint for striking things, so you can make a fire with it. So you're going to have to figure out where you put these and how you carry them with you. And of course, it has the nice little classic useful tool here. The all-important cap and bottle opener. So you can open your favorite beverage. So it's got a cap opener here. You screw this in. You get a picture of it right here. And of course, this screws down. I just haven't done it fully, so it locks in. There we go. You've got your screwdriver. You've got your other little tools here. A little bit of a nut screw tool. So you can do basic things with this as well. So this is a good little tool. It's got a little saw on the bottom here, a little file. Really nice. And as I said, it fits in there. It's very strong. This is going to be able to take a beating, and that's something you may have to do in a critical situation. Or, one of the problems I had with my Swiss Army knife is, it's got a lot of stuff in there, but don't stress it at all because the blades break and everything else. So it's really a poor quality, some of that stuff. So as I mentioned, they do give you the 2 extra writing refills. You've got 2 extra battery refills, and they even throw in here, put that back in here. And again, the problem is carrying this. I haven't even taken it out of the wrapper here. Let's take it out. You've got another little tool, and these are nice. I've got a couple of these I carry with me, and I will show you them in the future. That I use as well. But here you go. You got a little measuring. Let me get this in the right direction. You got a little measuring here, and sometimes you need that kind of. What does it measure? Where you're at, etc. It's got another little indenting there for nuts and other things. Again, it's a regular tool, and you've got this here as well. And I don't know if this is what and it's got an opening here, etc. So I don't know if this is what you strike to get a spark. I don't know how that works. I'll have to figure that out. But they show you how to get an actual spark from this if you had to start a fire somewhere. And of course, you got to get to know your equipment and everything else. People buy stuff and then they don't know how to use it. I've done this myself numerous times. And everything comes in this beautiful fitted case here. Here's the front of it. It says, get it here. Now, there's usually multiple manufacturers or something like this. You may be able to find this a little cheaper, but it's YH Outdoor. And you can see what it says on the front here. It's got the glass breaker. It's got the light, writing, fire stick, whistle, knife, tool card. And what's that last thing? It's hard to see that. The last one is defense. So this does everything. And as I said, it comes in this is 4 inches by about 8 inches, or maybe 7. Little box. So you have this nice little box. I mean, you could put this in a car. You could put this in somewhere else if you want to store it like that. I like to carry my stuff on me. And let's put that blade back in there. As I said, you've got the essential things. You always seem to need a knife. You always need to see a light. And you always tend to need something to write with. Now what needs to be done, of course, is someone needs to figure a way to put all this together and have a little piece of paper for you to write on. But and of course, then this just fits over the glass breaker. And it seems to be very well made. It's very sturdy, just exactly what you want. Most of these tactical pens, as they call them, are very sturdy. All of the ones I bought. But it's nice to get these extras. Even having a little tool like this is something that's nice to have, and you could put all this in your car, in a purse. Or you could remove this, obviously, and put it in a little bag that you carry with you. But this could be carried with you very easily in a bag or your car or someone else, your glove box, your glove compartment, where it is accessible to you if you need these little extras. Generally, you're not going to need these, or you're going to have to carry these with you separately, like a whistle and other things, because it doesn't fit in the pen. But as I said, I guess you can't ask for everything. So this is a great little tool. I highly recommend it. As I said, I haven't had this exact tactical pen, but I've had several, and it certainly is. I've used the pen many, many times. You always seem to need a pen. As I said, one of the things that you're always lacking, especially if you do walking or you're in dark areas or even walking out to your car from shopping or anything else, is it's nice to have a light. What about opening your car doors with your key or your trunk? Now, most of us have pop stuff, but the bottom idea is that, are you seeing well? What if you want to see something? You drop something in your car, in your trunk, or wherever. There always seems to be dark places in my personal home where I need to have a light to look in there because there isn't lights in storage areas and other things. So having a light is really great, and having the feature that it actually flashes like this is a nice feature, especially if you're walking your dog at night or you're in a dark spot or you're doing something that there may be cars passing or other things, so you can be seen. It's amazing how many people are killed by being hit on the street by people who don't see them. So all of these little things that you could do, and for around $20 that this retails US, you just can't beat it. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's been informative, and you get one for yourself and your loved ones. Until next time.